This is Tamara from mooglyblog.com, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate the stitch pattern for the Madly in Love Infinity Scarf and Cowl, which is currently a mini crochet along happening on mooglyblog.com. Now, the cowl and infinity scarf is way too big to show here in the video, so if you want to see full pictures and of course full written instructions, please do visit the link that will be posted in the description of the video. That's of course if you're watching on video too. If you're already on the blog, you're all set. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll be using an H hook. This one is by Furls, and I will be using Lion Brand LB Collection Superwash Merino, which is a lightweight yarn. Now for the pattern itself, we start with 46 chains, but if you're using a different weight of yarn or you just want a different width, it's basically any multiple of 2, so any even number of chains. And here I'm just going to show you a couple of sample rows so you can see how the first half of the pattern comes together. So what we're going to do is I am going to make a puff stitch in the 4th chain from the hook, which is right there. I like to work into the bottom of the chain here. If you prefer to work into that top V, you are certainly welcome to do so. Now there are lots of versions of the puff stitch. They all have the basic form. Really the differences come, trying to find the 4th loop again here, there we go. The difference come in the number of times that you pull up loops. For this particular version, we're going to pull up loops 3 times. So I've yarned over, I go into the stitch, pull up a loop, like so. And I want to pull it up to about the height of the puff stitch, so I don't keep it down close, I keep it a little higher. Working it into the chain, this can be a little odd. It gets easier with subsequent rows. So I'll yarn over again, go back into that same chain, pull up another loop, and pull it up nice and high. Like I said, it looks a little wonky, a little strange in this chain, but it'll get better as you go. Yarn over, insert again, pull up another loop, and at this point there should be 7 loops on the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to go ahead and yarn over and pull through all 7 loops. Okay, then I'm going to chain 1, like so. Then I will skip the next chain and work a puff stitch right into the next chain after that. So let's do that again. I insert my hook, pull it up nice and high, yarn over, pull it up nice and high, one more time into that same chain, pull it up nice and high, yarn over, and pull through all the loops. And those are 2 puff stitches. Then I'll chain 1, skip 1, and continue on down until I come to the end of my chain. When I get to the end, there will be 1 chain remaining. So let's pretend I've gotten all the way to the end of this row. There would be only 2 chains remaining. So I would skip that one, just as we did before, and just work a double crochet in the one after that. Like so. Like I said, this is a very small sample, but it shows you the stitch pattern. Alright, so we've got our double crochet there. So to begin row 2, I'm going to chain 3 and turn. Now, because I tend to write my instructions in what I think is the most standard way, according to the yarn standards, I always say turn and then chain for the next row, but I actually like to chain and then turn. I just feel it's a little bit easier. Doesn't really matter as long as you're heading back the right direction when all's said and done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work a chain, or excuse me, a puff in the chain space. Remember we chained 1 right before that double crochet, so that'll be right here in that first chain space. So I pull up my loops nice and high again, yarn over and pull up a loop until I've got 7 loops on the hook, all working right in that chain space. So I don't need to worry about going into the actual chain, I can just go in that space in between the stitches. Of course, yarn over and pull through all, then chain 1, skip the next puff right there. We're not going to work into the puff. This is what makes this stitch pattern so fun and easy. And then we go right into that chain space there and work another puff. Like I said, this is obviously a very, very small sample. We're only working 2 puffs per row here. In the Madly in Love pattern, you would have 21 puffs, but they're all the same. Chain 1. And now we come to the end of row 2. So we've got a puff and we've got this double crochet. What I'm going to do is skip, or excuse me, it's not a double crochet though, it's the first 3 chains that we skipped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip this puff stitch and I'm going to work a double crochet in the top of the chain 3. That chain 3 acts as a double crochet. And we'll treat every chain 3 at the beginning of a row the same. So I go ahead and double crochet right in there. Alright, so that's row 2. And for the first half of the pattern, you just really repeat row 2 until you've got the length you want. I've got a couple of suggested lengths for cowl and for infinity scarf, but if you're particularly petite or you like your scarves longer, you can absolutely create the scarf length you like. Whether it's very short, very long, it's up to you. I'll make one more row here. Remember, after row 2, it's just repeats of row 2. So we're going to start with a chain 3, work a puff stitch in that first chain 1 space right to the side of the double crochet, yarn over and pull up loops through the chain space until you've got 7 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all the loops, chain 1, yarn over, skip that next puff, go into the next chain space. Again, you don't have to worry about going into the chain, you just go right into the space, oops, right into the space there in between, stick your hook through the back of the fabric, yarn over and start pulling up loops. Running out of yarn here, there we go. So we've got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull up another one, makes 5, yarn over, pull up another one, makes 7, yarn over and pull through all 7 to finish off the puff stitch. Chain 1, and here we are at the end of our row. So we'll skip that last puff and work a double crochet in the top of the chain 3. There we go. And like so. Continue on until you have the length you're looking for. And that is the basic pattern for part 1 of the Madly in Love pattern on mooglyblog.com. I hope you've enjoyed this peek at the pattern. Please do check it out on the blog for more information. There's a lot more information there. It's a pretty simple pattern so far. I think you'll really enjoy it. And if you've liked the video, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching.